In this video, we're going to look at how do you sell out to competition even without lowering your price. Just a few tips and a few concepts you're going to learn. Now, first of all, let's understand the nature of the prospects. Have you seen cases where the prospects actually saw a more expensive price? In some cases, the value was not as much, yet was more expensive, and the prospect went ahead to buy nevertheless. Of course, I'm aware that sometimes the prospects look for the bottom prices. All I'm trying to say is that prospects, they respond to value. They respond to value. Follow principles. Don't argue with principles. The way you sell, most likely, is the way you buy. If you look at the way you buy, you can have an idea of how it is that you sell and what it takes to persuade others. If you as an individual, you want to make a buying decision, maybe something valuable, and you're looking at pricing, you're also going to somehow, with one other eye, be benchmarking and be checking the value. No one looks solely at the price and decides based on that. Even though they tell you they are looking at the price, somehow they keep checking and benchmarking with the value. This is why it's possible and very possible to outsell the competition, whether the competition has a more expensive price or a lower price. They are still the competition and they have to be taken seriously. I want you to know that it's always easier if you have a cheaper price to outsell the competition. However, it doesn't guarantee. And that's why you don't want to use price as an advantage a lot of times, because there will always be a cheaper price. Price would always drop with free fall due to gravity. If you use price as your only leverage, or use a discount as your only leverage, whoever can come with a cheaper price or a greater discount will get the business. The strength of your value is based on how easy it can be replicated or how difficult it can be replicated. The strength of your value will be based on how difficult it can be replicated. Replicating your price is very easy, so the value is not strong enough. Replicating your discount is very easy, so the value is not strong enough. Focus on the things that matter. And I'm going to give you 4 things that matter when it comes to outselling the competition. My first point, I like to talk about love a lot. My first point is love. And what do I mean? Whoever can outlove the prospects, will sell out to the competition. Why? Because love births a desire to give superior value, the desire to help, the desire to advance. Now, you see, this is a state of your heart. And this is shown by your passion. It is shown by your intention. My intention is to make this man better than I met him. One of the principles of success is making the world better than you met it. I want to make this man better than I met him. This is the principle you live by. If this is the principle you live by every day, you go to a place, you meet it dirty. Before you leave there, it's cleaned up. Even if it's a restroom in a public place. Oh, you resume the place. You notice that the way things are working here, things are not done excellently. But you try to change it and make it a better place. You will do something to your character. There's a popular saying that work on being, not on having. Because with what you are, you will always have. So love is more like working on being. Be that person who is so passionate about helping the prospect. The prospect will see it. When they see that you are so passionate and eager to help them, they would be attracted and they'll be drawn to you. People do business not with brands, but they do business with people. If our salespeople are better than their salespeople, our results will be better than their results. So the battle is not brand versus brand. The battle is salespeople versus salespeople. So if you sell better than the next salesperson, automatically you have the advantage to outsell the competition. The second point to outsell the competition is imagination. And when I say imagination, I'm saying use your creativity to communicate value. Use your creativity to communicate value. Selling requires creativity. Where does creativity come in? Asking questions. Where does creativity come in? Your tone of voice. At what point do you drop your tone? At what point do you raise your tone? At what point do you use a curious tone? At what point use a concerned tone? So understanding and tweaking your tone of voice. And the secret to getting the right tone of voice is your intention. I want to sound like I'm genuinely concerned about this prospect. I want to sound like I am an authority. The Bible talks about Jesus Christ. The Bible says that Jesus spoke as one having authority. They said, this man did not speak like the rest. He spoke as one having authority. How did he speak as one having authority? Because that was his intention. And it was working from inside. So let that be your intention. Hey, I want to be creative. I want to find a way to come up with a better way to communicate what it is I'm trying to sell to this prospect. Can I introduce a story at the beginning? Can I start with a testimonial at the beginning? Oh, can I at the middle ask, okay, sir, what I'm saying, is it making sense to you so far? You know, that's what's called a test close. In between the presentation, I'm asking, sir, what I'm saying, is it making sense to you so far? So look at a creative way to make your value, the communication more interesting. Sometimes when the prospect feels like he's not satisfied, maybe because of the objections he's raising, maybe because of the concerns he's raising, maybe because he's not going ahead with the transaction, sometimes you just have to calm down and look for another way to communicate the same value. Don't change what you said. Just say it again in another way. It could be how you rearranged your points. And you see, when you're communicating value, make it systematic. Let's know that it's maybe 5 points, 3 points, 4 points. Don't just communicate like you're telling a story. So that the prospect can live with something. He can more like take notes. And from taking notes, he can easily be able to say, oh, you know what? I think I've got what this guy is saying. Part of creativity, like I said, is asking questions. The deeper your questions, the more the questions. See, don't ask less than 3 to 4 questions before you start communicating value. Until 3 or 4 questions have come out of you to the prospect, don't start communicating value yet. Because the more questions you ask, the deeper the value. The more you can uncover the needs, rather. The more the depth of how you can understand the prospects. And you see, prospects assume that whoever can uncover their needs the most is the person who can solve their problems the most or at the highest level. The next point, N. I said, first point, love the prospect. Second point, imagination. I said, use your creativity to communicate value. Ask more questions. Go deeper to understand the prospect's needs. Whoever understands the prospect's needs at the deepest level is the one who can provide the greatest solution. Now, never lower the price. Never lower your price. What do I mean? Move from primary features into secondary features when it's time to communicate value. What do I mean? Primary features talk about what you have in common with the prospects. Secondary features talk about what's your difference with this prospect. What's your difference? So when you're communicating value, start with, do a short summary of your primary features. Oh, Mr. Prospect, this is what we have in common with the competition. Give him 3 or 4 points. Now, Mr. Prospect, this is what differentiates us. You see this? So when you're doing this, you're clearly telling the prospect, this is the basis upon which our pricing is set. This means that if we are going to reduce our prices, Mr. Prospect, you're not saying this, but this is in prospect's mind, based on how you're communicating. If we're going to be reducing our prices, Mr. Prospect, this will automatically mean, Mr. Prospect, that the price, if we're going to be reducing our prices, Mr. Prospect, this automatically means, Mr. Prospect, that the value will have to reduce. Why? Because you've communicated in a systematic order. You've given the primary features, what you have in common with all your competition. Then you take a step further and you go into secondary features. These are the things that differentiate you. Every business has its secondary features. Every business has its difference. We do not sell our similarities. We sell our differences. So finally, what's your goal in that conversation? I want to sell the competition, right? What's your goal? Your goal should be 4 things. Number 1, you want to dress the parts. While I'm communicating to this prospect, I want to make sure that because I'm going to outsell the competition and the battle is salespeople versus salespeople, I want to dress the parts. I don't want to leave any room for assumptions or disbelief. I want to dress like I am the authority in this industry. I want to dress the parts. The second thing you want to do is that you want to ensure that you build rapport with these prospects, right? Build rapport. Rapport means finding common ground. When rapport has been built the right way, to a very large extent, the prospect feels, I'm ready to sacrifice this extra price this person is charging me because of this relationship I have with this person, or because of the common interest or common ground I have with this person. So I want to build rapport. Build rapport. The third point, you want to use your vocabulary. You want to educate the prospects. Educate your prospects. Because the prospect will always feel, you're just trying to overpricing. Don't worry. They want to do a hard negotiation. Educate. When you educate them, number one, they know that you're the teacher. You have the knowledge. Number two, you take them, they have an understanding of where they're coming from, of where this industry is going to. They know that you have the authority. So educating establishes you as the preferred person for the transaction. And finally, share testimonials. Share testimonials. When you share testimonials, the prospect feels, I've heard other people's success stories. What this person is saying is very true. So, ladies and gentlemen, in summary, which of these points have gotten your attention the most? Can you tell me? I said, number one, love the prospect. Whoever can love the prospect the most, or outlove the prospect will outsell the competition. Number two, I said, use your imagination. Use your creativity. Ask questions. Look at how to communicate the value in a different way. Whoever can understand the prospect's needs at the deepest level will be looked at as the person that can be trusted to solve the problem. Number three, I said, don't lower your prices. Use the primary to secondary features technique. Start with primary features, what you have in common with your competition. Then go into secondary features. That will let the prospect know that, hey, this is the basis upon which this person's pricing is higher because he has differences which he's using to sell. Number four, I said, have a goal. What's your goal? Your goal is to make sure that you dress the parts. Your goal is to make sure that you build rapport in that conversation because these things are like shock absorbers. So from resistance, to prevent resistance, sales resistance. Dress the parts. He won't discredit you. Build rapport. You've got into his heart. He won't discredit you. Use the vocabulary. You've got into his mind. He won't discredit you because you've educated him. Share testimonials. You've got into his environment. You let's know that other people are keen into this. And with this, you will be able to outsell your competition. Remember to like. Remember to subscribe. Please remember to share this link with others so they can be a part of this program. We're still talking about how to sell when no one wants to buy. So tomorrow, we're going to be looking at very key things, 3 points that's going to help you, whether you're new to selling or you've been trying to move your sales to the next level. 3 key things that would help you as a salesperson. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you have any questions, please chat in the comment section. Then let's talk.